The DJI Osmo Pocket 3 is only 2 features away from perfection, and those features are weather sealing and open gate recording. If you're unfamiliar with open gate recording, it's basically just recording the full size of the sensor. And so if you had a square sensor and you were to use open gate recording, you could decide later in post whether or not you wanted that clip to be vertical or horizontal or square. And so that means you can record once and then cut in multiple different ways, which is fantastic for social media work, but also pretty good for personal documentation because sometimes you want to send something on your phone versus have to look at it on a big screen. And so it does feel like a pretty big miss that DJI didn't include that in this particular camera, but it's not a deal breaker for me. And then the other thing that I mentioned, the weather sealing, that one's tough. It would be nice to have this camera be protected from some rain or even just built better so that I could handle some drops. But again, not a deal breaker for me. I think DJI thought about this one a little bit, and so they do offer a protection plan. And that's what I've been using to kind of give myself peace of mind. I haven't babied this camera at all, but I have no issues with it. Everything still works just as it did when I took it out of the box. And if I were to drop it or break it, I could send it back to DJI and get a replacement for a lot cheaper than what I paid for it. So that is a pretty solid solution. And again, not a deal breaker for me. So then maybe let's shift gears and let's talk about why I think that this is a pretty low risk buy. One, I think it's a pretty good value. It's $500-ish, $600-ish, depending on where you're getting it from. And I think that a lot of people should get it as it is. I don't think that the creator combo is necessary. You can always add on a microphone a little bit later if you find yourself in situations that you want to record more often in. That's what I ended up doing. But the battery handle, I don't think is necessary at all. The battery life has been really good for me. I used it on long days when we were in Japan. I also have used it for some professional social media coverage, and I haven't had any issues at all. The battery also charges really fast, so if you do find yourself in a pinch, you could always just plug it in for a bit, especially if you're doing hybrid work between photo and video. And kind of branching off of that a little bit, one of the reasons that I really like this tool is because it does allow me to separate things in my brain. I can bring along a specific video camera without adding a bunch of bulk to my bag. And so that's been fantastic for travel situations. I do think, though, for people who use their phones and enjoy using their phones for that kind of video capture, this product probably wouldn't make a difference for you in your workflow. For me, though, I don't like having a bunch of videos on my phone that I have to look through. I do like the process of taking an SD card out and then putting it into my computer and then using that time to be a little bit more mindful about what I want to keep and what I want to delete. And then I also do just enjoy having a separate device because that means that I'm not draining my battery for video when I need to be using it for navigation or something like that. So the other thing that I think is really special about this camera is the convenience. So for me, I've been basically putting it in my pocket, taking it out, flipping it open, taking a video, and then closing it again. And that's fantastic when I'm hired for a shoot where I'm doing both photo and video. I'm focusing more on the photo when I'm actually having my camera in my hand, and then when I need to take video, I just slide it back onto my backpack, my big camera, and then take my Pocket 3 out of my pocket and capture a quick clip. And that's been perfect for social media and things like that. I also think that for me, it's a pretty perfect workflow, but if you were to put yours into a bag or a backpack or something like that, you would probably have an extra step of putting it into the protective case before you do that. So that's just a consideration if you are going to be using more of that style of workflow. The other maybe tip or trick that I have for this camera is get a stand if you find yourself in situations where you're going to be wanting to set the camera down. It is a little bit flimsy, and so if not flimsy, but it does rock a little bit. So if you were to shake the table or maybe knock it, it would probably fall over. But with this stand, you can set it down and pretty much forget about it. It won't go anywhere, which is really nice. The other thing that I would mention too, kind of along those lines, is a mist filter or just some sort of filter. I cannot recommend an ND filter because I think the purpose of this camera is basically to be a point and shoot video camera. So if you add an ND filter, you're complicating that workflow quite a bit. And I also think that if you're going to take that much time to get the best out of your footage, then you'd probably be better off with a different setup. So yeah, I think if you're using it as a point and shoot video camera, it is going to exceed your expectations. And hopefully I can convey that in some of the sample footage you're about to see. And just for context, all the sample footage was shot in 4K 30 frames per second with auto white balance and auto exposure. I do limit my exposure to 800 ISO. I've just found that to kind of be the sweet spot for me. It could differ for you. And I also just use the DJI color profile. I don't use log. So yeah, I don't grade or edit any of this footage at all. This is basically straight out of camera with the mist filter on top. So if you like this footage, it is very easy to replicate. Yeah, so if you have any questions, just drop them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. But yeah, I really enjoyed this camera, and honestly, I feel like I should have gotten it sooner. It would have been a perfect travel companion for some of my other videos, and I think it would have helped me realize sooner that I do like separation between photo and video. I don't like doing them on the same camera, and I don't want my video camera I don't want two big cameras, basically. I think I want at least one small camera, if not two small cameras. So this really fits the bill for me, and if you do any hiking or any travel and you just want to be a little bit lighter, a little bit more nimble, then it's probably a pretty good fit for you too. So hope you enjoy this sample footage, and I will catch you in the next one. I'm hoping to release one more video this month. It'll probably be a little bit more like fall, October themed, and then next month hopefully I can do the Japan video where pretty much all the footage was taken on this Pocket 3. So that'll be another opportunity for you to check out some more unedited footage, basically. So yeah. But okay, hope you enjoy.
So what's the best time for you? We could play your games, but I could never see me lose. And I've been checking out your moves. You will slip and slide, but I can always catch your groove. I've been hurt before and saw you inside me. Pulling on my heart, all the strings will fly, see. You can take the cake and just icing. Blow so quick, never fuck with the Pisces. But I look quick. We could change shape and take. With a broken heart and nights apart, wide awake, and I'm just still thinking about you, baby. I've been doing all I can, and baby, I'm not built to fight like on the daily. But you know I just need a little training, and now I'm a little too much. We get stuck in this place where I'm lost without a chase, but I can't seem to find any better use of time. Come on now, baby, yeah, you know I just need a little training. Come get me. So what's the best time for you? We can play your games, but I could never see me lose. I've been checking out your moves. You were slipping slide, but I can always catch your groove.
Follow Jesus this closely.
But what's the use? Why we so dark? I like this better at the start. Just holding hands, forgiveness free. But we don't backtrack gracefully, baby. I've been doing all I can, and baby, I'm not built to fight like on the daily. But you know I just need a little training, and now I'm a little too much. We get stuck in this place where I'm lost without a chase, but I can't seem to find any better use of time. Come on now, baby, yeah, you know I just need a little training. Come get me. So what's the best time for you? We could play your games, but I could never see me lose. And I've been checking out your moves. You will slip and slide, but I can always catch your groove.
I